Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Razak at CMTrading. Today is December 18th, 2015, and today is Friday morning. Just another couple of weeks until the New Year's, and let's wrap it up. It's been a very exciting week this week. We'll start with the Euro USD at the bottom of the range here at 108.6 after selling off from 110. Ultimately, it's respecting its support at 108.20, and as you can see, we're bouncing off of it. So the question is how far we're going to bounce and what's the trading range? Well, at this stage, it's going to be choppy trading, I think, going into the end of the year, unless we have some sort of rally or some sort of news that's going to catapult us above higher. But I think, relatively, considering the last couple of weeks, from where we've gone from 105 to 110, that's about a 500 pip move, and then retracing about 200. That's a healthy retrace, okay, when we look at the daily. So, I still think we're going to be trading within this range. We may jump another 30 or 40 pips before the weekend or next week, but if you are in it and you see something that starts developing and volume starts going, you could definitely jump in, and you're not chasing it, not at this level at least. But remember, just respect the stop loss and make sure to get out. Looking at gold here, gold sold off, as you can see. Let's kind of bring that out a little bit. We finally hit 1049. Okay, we've been testing it. We tanked after the news, and then we're at 1057. So my target again is still 1,000 points. I still think that we're gonna breach 1,000 within the next 6 months. Exactly the date I can't tell you, but as you can see, it's dead on its tracks. It's still very, very weak. Looking at the other commodities, looking at oil. Oil's still also at $34. Okay, we breached the $35 range. That's a huge number. It's definitely something that we can definitely hit $30 from here. So looking at all-time numbers here, we're back into the 2003 level, which is unprecedented. Okay, we were all the way to 146 a barrel. Okay, so. Take this for what it's worth, whether it's electric cars or whether it's, overconsumption or fracking or whatever the, fundamental reasons are. The graph is weak and we can continue going down, and we can even go down to $30 a barrel. So just be aware of it. Looking at the Dow Jones sold 200 points yesterday. Big sell-off yesterday. As you can see, we're still in this middle of this range between 17,800 and 17,000. So the question is where we're going to go from here. We're going to have a late rally. I'd like to see an end of the year rally. Looking at some of the bellwether stocks, they are getting weaker. I'm talking about companies like Apple, but looking at the fundamental companies like some of the banks, they're strong, and they're going to continue being strong because they're going to make a good sum of money. And so the question is will this rate affect the amount of borrowing in the market? And it's quite an aggressive move of Chairman Yellen to increase the interest rates after years of not touching it. It's a public move, like I mentioned earlier in the week. So time will tell. Okay, in the next first to second quarter, how well she's done by raising the rate. So that's something also you need to consider. Looking back at the USD Rand, we're back into this 50-20 level. We didn't breach further down after hitting 14. The question is there's a little bit of a resistance here as we enter this the high of the initial gap down. When we rallied up, we're hitting close to that high. So might be testing it again in order to take it further down. But again, it is trading and it does have some volatility. So it's something that we'll have to keep an eye on. Looking at the Japanese yen here, Japanese yen came out with some news this morning, some favorable news for the yen, and therefore it's got a little bit stronger versus the dollar. We were at 123 and we traced down to 121. So that's a major move. That's about a 200 pip move. I want to keep an eye on that today to see some volatility if it's going to breach certain levels. Looking at it, it topped out. I mean, if we look at a weekly chart, it topped out from about 2 years ago. I mean, we went from 80 yen per dollar to 121. Now, 121 is historically a big number. I mean, this goes back into the 80s and 90s when I remember being a kid, that when I entered the workforce in around, I don't know if it'll take us that far back, but 121 is a major number for the yen. That's a stabilized number. Now, there are some issues between what was the economic concern of 1990 and the economic concern of 2015. So looking at the graph, I mean, we are at a major resistance level, a multi-year resistance level here at 123-ish level. So the fact that it's sold off is not surprising to me. The question is how far of a range will we have? Like we have 119 here, 120. So I would assess that unless something colossal happens to the dollar, which it may, because now that Fed Chairman Yellen has increased the rates, the dollar may get weaker, which will be good for the dollar in a way because it'll help them with the exports. How that's going to be corrected in the market, and so that's something that we have to keep an eye on. And that's developing news. So for now, we're trading in the range. I would say we'll still be trading in the range unless we break out towards the end of the year. But ultimately, I think we're going to be trading in the range in the Forex symbols going into the end of the year. This is Fred Razak at CM Trading. I want to wish you guys a great weekend. Thank you.